Hey Cancers, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. OM Gerd. We have the Bardo, the Tear, the Destroyer, the Shadow, the Mystic, the Mother, Anima Mundi, the Siren, and the Mentor. This is a lot of energy. Cancers. I mean, I kind of want to say, and the Cancers are the maternal sign, right? Or like the nurturers, we're the homemakers, like let me make everybody some breakfast and some dinner, and did you eat lunch? Like just because, I don't know, like I think it's just kind of like a Cancer love language sometimes, of just like you want to know that like the people around you or the people close to you are like they're taken care of, and people eating is important. But I feel like there's an idea here of there being this, like this shadow side to it, right? Like, and being a mother, and obviously if you're not a mother, there are other ways in life that you can experience this, but like I would just say personally, and take it how it resonates with you. But there's the downside of it, is that you have to make decisions that aren't easy decisions to make sometimes, and it might be for the greater good of everything and everyone in the long run, for a million and 10 reasons that like your kids might not understand yet. You know what I mean? And it's like, so that as that, in that role, that as that person, you're going to have to make decisions that people aren't always going to like, that might make you feel like, I don't want to do this. And yet, like, what choice do I have? Because in the long run, this is the right thing to do, and I feel like you've been in this state of in between, trying to grasp all of the things that there are to grasp. Because I mean, the mystic is that, like, the all-seeing eye, the psychic knowing, and in order to have that psychic knowing, in order to have that level of understanding, you need to be able to see in between what's going on, and whether you're in a role, with a group of friends, or in a role with, like your family, or in a role with work, where you are able to see the in between, I feel like that's leaving you feel like you're in a role of the destroyer. And it's not a good place. It's not a happy place to be. And yet I feel like it's a place that you have to exist in sometimes. And the Siren and the Mentor, you know, the Siren is the idea that you can't ignore the call of the Siren. And I'm not really sure what to do with that yet, Cancer, because I don't know if you're in that energy or if somebody else is coming to you with that energy. Like, are you the Siren and the Mentor? Are you one or the other? Are you neither? Like, I feel like, let's do some clarifiers. But the energy here is that you feel like you've had to make some decisions along the way, where you're like, this is the best decision for everyone. And maybe I'm going to be viewed as like somebody who's very destructive for making this decision. But because of my awareness, whether that's your awareness of, like the work environment, your awareness of the people around you, your awareness of, like the cultural indoctrination, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, pick your poison, like, what are you aware of that other people aren't, where you feel like you have to go in and you have to bring something to an end that you don't want to, and yet it feels like it's something that has to be done. Like, if I don't do this, nobody will. Like, if I don't do this, we're going to end up further down and stuck even more. And then that's worse than what's actually going on right now. So, you know what I mean? Cancers. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords, which is like a quick decision, you know, to face your fears. Um, because I feel like there's an idea that like whatever decision you made, it was, I feel like saying like I'm cutting the cords of manipulation. I'm cutting the strings that will bind us into roles that we are not meant for. You know what I mean? And it's like I have to do that on my own. And I feel like when you do that on your own, you bring things back to life. You know what I mean? Like it's like aeration, or, you know, like just, it's like opening a window and like it was all winter and it was cold and like the air and the energy just gets stagnant. And then you open that window and it's like you feel like you can move and you can breathe again. You know, I feel like Cancers, you guys have made a lot of decisions that have really left you feeling like the bad guy, and also simultaneously knowing that like this has to be done because it's the only way that this is gonna, like, at this point we're so seeped in all of the negative, we're so seeped in all of the, you know, the corruption, the indoctrination, you know, like the whatever, that it's like there's only one way to get out of it, and that's to break it, you know, like ground up. We got to restart this. And I feel like you are doing that, and I feel like it's just, it does, it feels like you can breathe, you know, like there's an idea here of like, not only did it work, you know, but it did so much more, because now there's room for love, now there's room for growth, now there's room for all of the things that there wasn't room for before, because something was preventing truth, something was preventing growth, and that had to go. You know, like you have to break the cycle, and breaking the cycle is horrible and it's painful and it's brutal sometimes, you know, but when you do that, you lift others up too, you know. I still don't know what to do with the Siren and the Mentor over here. Okay, let's get some more. The Lovers again. Okay, Cancer. The Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Lovers. I mean, there's definitely some big movement, some new things that are happening in your life that come with a lot of passion and a lot of love, and something that, like, it might feel like you're jumping into it. Not in one of our reads a hot minute ago, but it was like there was something that you were like rushing into, and it might have seemed like a really drastic decision, but it didn't feel like it. And I feel like that's in part because you faced your fears, and you worked on you, and you kept, you like if as a parent you make a decision, you know, like I have to be consistent with that, so that there's not a, you know, like so that there's not this imbalance, there's not this question. And I feel like you made a decision and you were consistent with it, and it prevented there from being any imbalance. You know, like it might have felt destructive, but ultimately it restored balance, it restored life, and it allowed for you to come back in a really big way, and I think be ready for all of the things that are meant for you. So I don't know, Cancers, like maybe you're the Siren in this situation, you know, because I feel like the idea here is that like if you behave in a destructive manner, or you do something that is, you know, perceived as destructive, and maybe you would even agree with that, like, yeah, like that was a destructive decision that I made, but I made it with reason, you know. It's like if you have a house that's full of asbestos, you have to like basically, or what, like an old, like it used to be a meth head, like a meth lab, you know, like you have to just destroy the house. You can't live in that house. it's contaminated, it's unhealthy, it's, you know, like it will ultimately do more harm, and it might take care of an immediate need of shelter, but you know, like it'll jack your shit, you know? And it's like, okay, well, as a mother, like, obviously, you don't want your children's shit to be jacked. You don't want your friends' shit to be jacked. You don't want your family shit to be jacked, you know? And it's like, okay, well, if we got to break this down to build it up right, then why don't we go ahead and take care of that earlier on so that we have more time to build and you know, like bring things back to life, because that's where the energy should be. And I feel like that's where this energy is, you know, and I love that. Okay, Cancers. Okay, we have the King of Cups and the King of Wands, the Devil and the Three of Pentacles. um you know, Cancers, I kind of want to say that you have maybe, like, for maybe some of my Cancers, just a couple people that you're dealing with, you know. And I feel like you might have to really be honest with yourself about what's going to be good for you moving forward, and what will be restrictive to you moving forward. There's some people camping across the way. This is huge ass family. They turned it up. I love it. Sorry. There's some like music. It was you. I feel like Cancers, you know, like even if there are multiple people that you're dealing with, I feel like you know who you're aligned with. You know who you can grow with. And you know who will hold you back. And you know what it is to have to destroy something to rebuild it. And so it's a lot easier to make a decision because you don't want to have to do that more than once, right? Okay, one last card for Cancers and we'll call it a read. The prayer. Because you know what you've asked for, right? You know what you want. And I feel like you've conceded enough times in life that like you're not willing to concede anymore. But sometimes it's like the universe is just waiting for you to say, okay, like I'm ready now. Like, okay, I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept this. This is not going to work for me. You know what I mean? And it's like once you finally master the art of saying, this is not going to work for me, then you are able to really draw in what does work for you. And you know it works for you because it resonates with you in all of the ways that you had requested. It's like that. What is it in Practical Magic when she meets the police officer and he's got the star and he makes pancakes shaped like stars and or something, and he flips the pancakes in the air and he has one blue eye and one brown eye, and you know what I mean? Like it has that feeling of like you can't even hardly, you don't like you go through points of destruction and there's a real part of you that feels like, well, fuck, there goes that. You know what I mean? And to witness life emerge from destruction, I think is sometimes the most like you're awestruck by it. And I get the feeling that you're awestruck by something like an opportunity that has come to you. I want to say like just in this package that you were like, well, damn. You know, but there might be a need to say no one more time. I don't know. I think it'll resonate differently for all of my cancers, but whatever the situation is that you've been dealing with, where you feel like you've come in as like this person who's like, I have to make this hard decision on behalf of us because somebody's got to do it, it needs to be done, and this is what's best. Like having that pay off in a real way. And I love that for y'all cancers. I hope this resonates. If it does, please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.